Alrighty. In this video, I'm going to talk about Abby Chatfield. Now, I won't address anything controversial. And I wish that I'd practiced speaking as a girl more, which I could do. It's like I could do it and I might do it, but I don't want to do it here because I don't want to give you the benefit of listening to that, because I'm not here of my own free will. I'm here in defense of my country, and that is putting stress on my mind and my body that is making me do God knows what. So there's nothing so I just don't care. This isn't me like expressing my fucking divine inner goddess, and it's none of these things. It's fucking, it's who the fuck knows. And, you know, but anyway, Abby Chatfield. So my daughter was here because it was my birthday, so they surprised me. I just love surprises, but they came here. We had a good talk with my daughter and my youngest son. And at one point, I asked my daughter, who is 17, what she thought of Abby Chatfield. And she said, "Who's Abby Chatfield?" And that was the moment. So this video is described as cultural stratification. Now, we have a government here, a federal government, a state government, local government of Australia. It is filled with Australians. It always has been. And it relies on one thing for it to be legitimate, and that is continuity. And so this conversation between my daughter, who has been removed from my presence due to false accusations of violence and false accusations of mental illness in a totalitarian control system that is attempting to silence them again and then do these things. So it's like the only person really that I've seen on social media that I would have classed as the biggest negative influence. My daughter doesn't even know who it is. At the same time, my son then, I witnessed him kind of hide an R-rated film trailer that was advertised on TikTok to him, and he's 13. And then he pulled his phone away as if this handheld device bestowed onto him by his stepfather was his and his alone. And that, of course, his father, who had been sent to jail as a violent criminal, couldn't tell this 13-year-old not to use his, or couldn't inquire on the material that he's witnessing on this Chinese fucking social media app. If my 17-year-old daughter doesn't know who Abby Chatfield is, and Abby Chatfield interviewed the Prime Minister, then what the fuck are we doing? Because, as I said, continuity. This is like saying, if we go back to the year 2000 and saying, which I think I was like the same age or whatever, however old I was, who is Rove McManus? As an Australian, everybody knew Rove McManus was in the year 2000, or say the year 2006, when I was the same age. Isn't this weird? So why am I here? My daughter knows who I am, amazingly, because I kept in touch despite being separated from her whilst this iPhone cult was inflicted upon them. This is like war crimes. You, as the citizens of Australia, sat there as a father of three, small business owner who had cared for his elderly father in his final years, who had, cared for his mentally ill mother, and attempted to expose the dark hidden truths of the mental health industrial pharmaceutical nightmare and the in cahoots socialized welfare state that was initiated by people like my mother. And you sat there while you allowed two alcoholics to provide three children, descendants of some of the original pioneering families of Australia, with handheld devices that disassociated them from the continuity of their father's description of what was going on. And even after all of that, one of the largest forces of this negative, algorithm closed woke fucking cult isn't even known by my daughter, and I assume by my son, isn't even known to her. And she'll be voting next year. What the fuck are you all doing? Every day, like basically, that's what I should just do. I should just condense basically every day for the last 3 years. I've spoken to camera using the English language and I've said, what the fuck are you all doing? And I've just done it really technically, and I've used legal precedent, I've used legal, reference. I've described in great detail the horrific deterioration of our society. And this is somehow supposed to be held. There was no point at anything that I wouldn't be able to have. It's like saying, who's Abby Chatfield's effect and influence on this last election cannot be ignored. It cannot be ignored. Who was she talking to? Now, I'm very grateful that my daughter doesn't know who she is, so this is very weird, but also I'm very concerned. If this individual has enough influence to be at the women's grand final with her boyfriend there and the fucking ARIA Awards and standing with the Wiggles and all this shit, but in the team of them, there's no way that as a 17-year-old, I wouldn't know who that is. So what is my daughter being exposed to? What is the plan? You just selectively, algorithmically target key demographics and cherry pick them and fucking, breadcrumb trail them all the way to the fucking election? Well, no. Now we're going to have to start big fires all over the place and say, Abby Chatfield told me to do it. And how the fuck are you going to prove that she didn't? I swear to God, Abby Chatfield hacks into my computer at night and she says that she'll kill my family if I don't start setting fires all across the place. If I don't try and smash my head through an ambulance window. That one was extreme, but it looks like some guy fucking did it. Abby Chatfield has been hacking into everyone's fucking accounts and saying that she'll suck your dick because you're such a fucking useless, fucking simping fucking incel. And I just am that desperate to get sex because I'm now cucked out fucking superhero, despite the fact that my daughter, calling me basically a cuck, and then not knowing who this fucking cuck goddess is. I don't understand. Why isn't Abby Chatfield being looked at the same as Andrew Tate? And why the fuck doesn't my daughter know who Abby Chatfield is if she's had this much influence on young Australian women when she is a young Australian woman? Why can't I have these conversations with her or her mother? See, this is the problem. Continuity. You cannot shift a society that was actually quite politically stable. Like, we had conversations, we knew who figures were, there was a clear argument to what was going on, there were clear kind of, structural policies that were being, and now we have complete fucking dark, disappearing message fucking chaos. And this is the thing that I can't stand. You've turned what should have been, if there was a social media ban, it should have gone like this. You ban Snapchat. Why? Because it's a disappearing fucking bullshit fucking thing. And it is non-profitable, which means that it must be extracting its value in some other way. Instantly. Though I did one post negatively towards them and I was blocked instantly. This is the trend. This has happened to Snapchat, the e-safety commissioner, the Australian Labor Party, the West Australian Labor Party, the West Australian Labor Party premier. Like, these are the people who have done this, who have just blocked me. It's the craziest thing that this is floating still. You can't be a politician and block people. Like, that's your job. And it's being exposed. Okay? There's no way I'm continuing in this fucking thing that an individual has caused so much trouble, so recklessly, in the open, like in complete view of huge millions of Australian women. And I've been stuck in a fucking closet. What the fuck are yous all doing? Really? What the fuck? See, the retaliation is easy. I'm a father. Fathers tend to not go out much because they're being fathers and they're providing for their children, looking after their children, doing all this research and things like that. So we're just going to target places where young people hang out. And we're going to blame that on Abby Chatfield and Kelly Holiday. So when people are fucking running out of burning nightclubs in flames, you'll know whose fault it is. Now, this would be the last possible thing that I would ever imagine doing. I would never fucking in a million years condone this type of behavior. But what am I supposed to do with this level of stratification and this fucking this detouring of continuity of political discourse in this country? And you've already done far worse to me. You've stolen the most precious things to me. You've destroyed my business that took me, 11 years. You've silenced me. You've tortured me. You've ostracized me, which is a form of torture. I can guarantee you, because we can do that. I guarantee if you stick Abby Chatfield in the desert and pretend she doesn't exist, she's going to fucking go crazy in 2 days. Now, you've done that to me for 4 years. And if it wasn't for some fucking, some magic tricks that I learned from that psychiatrist at Nuremberg in order to keep my mind occupied and not go fucking la-la, I wouldn't be able to do all this. What have you done? What have you all done? There's never a time this is the craziest thing, is like there's never been a time where this would happen because I'm using a tool that's really effective at keeping this non-violent. But you've all just dissociated and decided that it doesn't exist. And then your whole game is like, well, if he does anything in the real world, we're going to arrest him. And it's like, what? I am doing something in the real world. I'm exposing your fucking negligence and your war crimes. You've drank your own Kool-Aid, all of you. You've settled on the argument that, oh, he's there. We don't listen to him, so no one should listen to him. Now, what happens if he's actually saying things that are really important? And what happens if that message gets outside of Australia, gets outside of this concentration camp? And it already has. Do you see what I'm saying? It started for me as a defense thing. I saw that this didn't work properly. I was like, oh, this should have worked. This should have activated like a grassroots movement of defense and all this. But it wasn't, because you've got back-end controls. You've been adjusting everything from behind the scenes, but we know that you're doing that, and we're proving that you've done that, and now you're closing. So it's like you've used meta controls against your own population, and now you're attempting to now ban Meta for children. Why is that? So the children don't figure out that clearly, use these back-end controls under fucking coercion as well against your own citizens? The children know. My daughter knows. She's going to figure it out. She's like, my dad's really clever and he's been really dedicated to this thing. And I don't know who this Abby Chatfield bitch is. And I can fucking assure you, if you continue to fucking attempt to dumb down my children, I'll fucking kill you. I heard from my son that he got kicked out of class, like before he'd even got in there, by some 22-year-old fucking nong that's probably fucking coming down from Kelly Holiday's fucking ecstasy. If by chance, because Kelly Holiday was here that weekend, that teacher was found to be at the Kelly Holiday fucking concert, holy shit, there's going to be hell to pay. What is going on? In my experience with women, they tend to do these strategies of really loud and outrageous, this is Abby basically is just constantly doing this, but with no plan. And it works most of the time. This is what, because women have only really encountered, historically speaking, the act of rape. And so there's two things. You either get raped or you fight the rapist off. That's it. And majoritively, unfortunately, for all the women, most women choose to get raped. And this means by our own government. And you'll notice it's only women in the authority positions in all of these things. So their solution is to rape me. Not once, not twice, not 3 times, but over and over and over and over and over and over again. To imprison me in a perpetual fucking delusion of their making, clearly out of sync with all the history of this region and our language and our culture and our traditions, and rape me over and over and over again. Rape my fucking flag, rape my culture, rape my traditions. Because Abby Chatfield told them to. And then if I say anything about Abby Chatfield in a negative sense, I'm a misogynist. But who the fuck is Abby Chatfield? As I said, the only person really that should know, out of everyone in my life, the only person that should have an awareness who the fuck Abby Chatfield is, according to these algorithms and all this shit, is my 17-year-old daughter. Because her content is targeted towards 17-year-old girls. But my 17-year-old daughter has no fucking idea who Abby Chatfield is. See, take someone like Michael Jackson, who Abby Chatfield is absolutely nowhere near, right? Very controversial figure, obviously, for obvious reasons. Now, I'm not talking about an argument where, was Michael Jackson good? Was he the best pop singer ever? Or was he a hideous fucking child molester? That's not the conversation I'm having. I'm having the conversation of, do you know who Michael Jackson is? If in 2006, or actually I read 2009, did you know he died in 2009? That seems too long ago. That's what I'm saying. Some weird shit's been going on. If you have the same feeling that you think Michael Jackson didn't die, 15 years ago. 15 years ago. That doesn't even make sense. I'm like, what? Hang on a second. My daughter's only 16. Michael Jackson didn't die when my daughter was 1. But he indeed did. He died in 2009. Now, the conversation isn't Was he a good man or was he a bad man? It's like, do you know who Michael Jackson is in 2009? You'd have to be pretty far under some type of fucking rock to not know who Michael Jackson was in 2009. Now, the only person that is anywhere near that level right now is Donald Trump, for the better or for worse. Again, we're not talking about these types of things. We're talking about Donald Trump. We're talking about, do you know who Donald Trump is? Of course you do. You'd have to be under some type of fucking rock to not know who the fuck Donald Trump is. But then where do we go from there? If my 17-year-old daughter doesn't know who Abby Chatfield is in Australia. See, I know because I've run a business online using social media. I know what's happened. I know exactly what's happened. Advertising and marketing for the majority of its existence has been calculated gambling. So there were people that were masters in these different techniques, but you did have to spread it out and you didn't exactly ever know who was getting convinced or coerced from which particular content. That was an art form, and it was very technical, right up until the social media, when it became targeted, extremely targeted, diagnostic level targeted PR and marketing. Now, my claim is that certain organizations and corporations and businesses have literally programmed portions of humanity, portions of the earth, countries, states, have programmed those individuals with selective algorithmic targeting. See, it doesn't matter whether you saw the ad or whether whatever, you are being led down breadcrumb trails to get to an exact result. And that is not how our democracy was supposed to be built. That is not how it was built at all. Like, basically, the fact that Abby Chatfield, the largest debated, left-wing voice of Australia at the moment, somehow got selected to interview our illegitimate prime minister, in my opinion, and that my 17-year-old daughter, who will be voting next year, does not know who she is, while her father has been kept in fucking like a concentration camp of fucking solitary confinement. Oh yeah, there's a fucking problem. There's lots of problems. Now, the main problem I see is, like, I keep talking about these things and no one fucking, you know what I mean? I don't get a fucking letter from the Prime Minister or even the federal police or anyone anymore. I don't know exactly what it is, what you're doing. The beginning of this, I was constantly hounded by the police and constantly hounded by everyone. Now what's going on? Why is this continuing? How can you keep this fucking going? It doesn't make sense. It's like you've thrown the fucking balls there and they're just fucking hanging there. How can that be? I need answers. If you're seen to be the government, which this is already it, it's like you're seen to be the government. There's either you're failing to get these messages, which is incompetence, gross negligence, absolutely unacceptable. You're absolutely dismissed, all of you, or you're ignoring it, same thing. And you're actually elevating constantly for an actual violent intervention on Australian soil. Why would you be doing that? You're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to negotiate. What am I? Am I a fucking spy? Am I a terrorist? Am I a fucking lunatic? You don't know because you're not talking to me. This is the problem. You've absolutely fucking cooked every single level of defense in this country. Absolutely. So you're not the government. So any action that you're doing on Australian soil right now is illegal. And the action that you're doing, as I've described earlier, is horrific. So you're sitting there waiting for me to make a move, but you've already made the moves and you've already kept on doing it over and over and over and over again. Hence liberation. We're liberating a concentration camp. You cannot take the entirety of a fucking country that has a beautiful history, has, documented evidence, and we're not in some fucking back-end shithole. We're not in fucking communist China fucking rice paddies, which no one had any fucking record of anything or remembered anything except for rice. It doesn't work like that. And provably, to get rid of all this evidence, you have to get rid of me and lots of people like me in order to do it. And because that is your only way to get out of this, whilst maintaining your authority, you are genocidal right now. Again, there's the genocide. It doesn't matter whether you've fucking actually put me in the gas chamber, you fucking dickheads. You've hung it over my fucking head for 3 years. You've hung it over my fucking children's head. I'd like to get to, I'd like to understand who the people are. I'd like to understand whether the premier of the country, of the state, is he a military asset that's just fucking, the pantomime well, or is he actually a fucking hideous Nazi? I need to know. What about the Prime Minister? What about the Governor General? I like her as well. Is the Governor General a Nazi? Is she a Nazi fucking super SS guard, fucking guarding the fucking gates of Auschwitz that I'm about to liberate? I hate to think of that. I thought she was on my side. What about Pauline Hanson? Oh, shit, hang on. Pauline Hanson's clearly a fucking Nazi. Holy shit. It's almost like the far right fucking party of the world pretended that there was a far left fucking hideous fucking thing, then pretended to lose a fucking war for fucking 4 years, then are now pretending to take credit for actually, liberating a place, but they're actually locking the fucking gate behind you all. And so that would mean that the only fucking hope is for fucking Michelle fucking Obama and Barack Obama to fly in with some type of fucking, I don't know, Islamic fucking liberation of a fucking Nazi-held fucking thing. Because the only way we're ever going to be able to fucking do business with any Islamic people is if they liberate this Nazi camp. It seems like every region on Earth has been split into 4. And each section of that 4 is pretending to be the other and then arguing with a 4th dimension. So there is a 4-dimensional fucking conflict going on. It's not the fucking prisoner's dilemma. That's 2 people. This is 4 people. And each person is pretending to be the other person, is pretending to lose all the time. And each region is split up to this, down these religious pathways. It's always Islamic and Christian or Islamic and Jew. It's the same as communists and capitalists, but they're all fucking mixed and they're mixing and matching and fucking crossing over and things like that. But I'm a father. I'm none of these fucking things. I've broken away from all of those things. I'm not trying to make profit. I'm trying to defend. I'm not trying to extend my business. I'm trying to, build a house. I'm trying to do the most basic of human things, and I'm being restricted at unacceptable levels from a position of privilege because I've inherited, not really a crazy amount, but a significant amount of property in order to do that from. So it means that anyone that isn't that is absolutely imprisoned by this system. And anyone not making this aware, making everybody aware of this right now is continuing on. And this is the problem, isn't it? It's like it gets to the end game. These are people that I like. This is Donald Trump. Don, mate, you're doing the deal with the devil. You're building a fucking concentration camp on iPhones. After all the conversations we had, after all the things, after all the miracles and shit that I fucking showed you, you just walk in and do this. King Charles, you're the same. You just turn the other cheek while the fucking Nazi fucking super concentration camp is built on iPhones in all the lands of the Commonwealth. Joe Rogan, fuck. Joe Rogan, the voice in my ear, leading me down a fucking breadcrumb trail for my whole fucking a huge portion of my adult life. Ushering me to what? The inevitable point that I sit and attempt to plead to a fucking video screen, even though it's completely a helpless cause, because this concentration camp is foolproof and tested and double tested, triple tested. Nothing's ever getting out. There's no evidence. There's no one left on earth that could possibly fucking intervene in our perfect fucking system that we've created here and that we're all profiting from. And we've actually turned people attempting to do this into the laughing stock, and they are our entertainment, very much like the Christians that were thrown into fucking lions' dens, things like that. Righto. The problem is that I know where your infrastructure stops and starts, clearly. Now, I've been down in this fucking shithole for a fucking while, so the interactions that I have with the greater world are lesser than they've ever been, but they're not gone. And actually, in this fucking condensed fucking shithole, I've found new ways of speaking to it and addressing it. And I can guarantee you that you're in a fucking prison, even if you think you're building it. And this is this is going to be the greatest bit ever. You have no idea what this bit's going to be like. I can see it. I watched, no offense. And maybe I should be offense. Maybe I should just, absolutely fucking destroy Donald Trump. The problem is I know that he's trying to do the right thing. He's just playing the game. But the game's going to change. Everything you're doing looks horrible and looks shit. And the only reason you've been able to do anything you're doing is because you were really good at looking like you're really good. Now you're not. Now you're failing at this. This is the same as Russia. It's like Russia wasn't looking good, but Russia can look good in an instant as soon as it liberates this concentration camp. It doesn't even have to do the whole thing. It only has to do one section. Russia could fucking land its submarine in Kingsley, walk up to the house that I'm in, knock on my door, take me for a fucking stroll down the thing and film it and make sure that it defends its path, and no one's going to attack a fucking thing there. They're not coming to get anything except me. And we're going to film it. And then you have to prevent that knowledge being implanted into every section of your fucking prison camp down here. Every single fucking region. You can't even stop fucking, drugs and fucking cigarettes and shit getting to prisons. You can't stop that. Not to mention other fucking ways that this is going to, divine inception of knowledge. What are you doing here? At what point did you break away from continuity? At what point did you let go of the handrail? All of you, most specifically to the Governor General. What point did you let go of the handrail, sweetheart? Anthony Albanese, what point did you let go of the handrail? Rupert Murdoch, what point did you let go of the fucking handrail that kept us connected to Australia? Because I haven't let go of that fucking handrail. If we were on a ship, you'd all be in the water because I'm still holding on to the fucking handrail. And you're all drowning in some type of chaotic fucking mess. And you can't explain to me why my fucking daughter doesn't know who Abby Chatfield is. You might speak of alliances with China and TikTok and all these things. It's like I speak of alliances with the Chinese. And what does that mean? It means if Putin can fucking walk up to my front door and fucking stick me in a submarine and get me back to Moscow, it means that Russia can do the same to the Chinese. It can be a Chinese uprising led by Russia. Don't forget the Russians have already done this. They've already liberated fucking Nazi Germany. Why wouldn't they do it again in a heartbeat? The only way that we do this without going that way, and this is the thing, it's like you have to all come clean in order to beat Russia. This is the ultimate Russian roulette. I'm not playing with anyone. You've all fucked me over. Really, I have authority and unsent to do whatever the fuck I need to do. You've kidnapped my fucking family. You've kidnapped my children. You've attempted to steal my country. You've destroyed my fucking life's fucking work. And you've attempted to fucking steal my fucking father's life savings. The fuck is wrong with all you people? I have every fucking reason on fucking planet Earth to request a fucking submarine ride to fucking Moscow right now. And what does that do for your fucking AUKUS agreement? What does that do for all of it? Vlad knows. Vlad might run Russia, old school, authoritarian fucking on the ground, fucking scary fucking guns shooting all this fucking shit, but at least they're in the real fucking world. Yeah, they're not being led then into a fucking trap, into a digital fucking hypnosis fucking prison camp in which none of these people can fucking prove that they have authority. See, it's my belief that authority is God-given. And it doesn't really make mistakes. It's like there's no doubt in anyone's fucking mind that Vladimir Putin is the president of Russia. He could be the king of Russia. I don't know why he hasn't. Everyone else is too exposed to this shit. And your game is that you're going to beat him by making this the new game. But you're not, because you're creating a fucking world. That's the biggest sin that there is. Think about how much, like every religious debate starts with the Garden of Eden, right? So God created the Garden of Eden, people were in there, then we fucked up, apparently. We fucking left the garden. Now, in my religious things, I believe that it is possible to return to the garden at any moment, work in alignment with God. And so that's where I'm speaking to you from. I think I mentioned it the other day. I put in a note that said Revelation in a bottle that said Eden. So I'm in the Garden of Eden right now. I've been in there for a long time. That's why I'm still alive. That's why I'm still breathing. That's why I'm still able to talk. I'm in the Garden of Eden. You're not. Now, that's okay because, as I said, original sin is part of the fucking human processes to not be in the gardens, to go through the steps, to learn that you can fucking indeed re-enter the garden. It's not a physical garden with a wall. It's a conceptual garden, and it's a consciousness level that you can achieve. Right? So you can return to the garden. Now, I can go to the garden and be blissfully happy, but I choose not to. I choose to defend the people that are wandering around outside of the garden. Now, the greatest defense that I'm now forced to do is to defend people from this false creation of a walled garden projected by the Apple Corporation, by Donald Trump's United States of America, by Keir Starmer's United Kingdom, and by Anthony Albanese's Australia. It is the greatest of all sins, and it will be destroyed in the greatest of all retaliatory processes, not in some long-fought struggle. That's my particular struggle. And a lot of that is to do with my personal growth so that I can face challenges in the future. But like that, he will wipe the fucking board clean like that and destroy this fucking creation, and everyone will fucking stumble outside and fucking, what was going on? everyone will have that same feeling like I had yesterday when I found out that Michael Jackson died in 2009, and that's 15 years ago, and that seems like way too long. And that the only person resembling the notoriety of Michael Jackson right now is clearly Donald Trump. I gave you the chance, and this is to Donald Trump and King Charles. I gave you the chance. All you had to do was to fucking explode a bomb at one fucking bullshit fucking dance party in the middle of the fucking desert. That's it. That's all you had to do. You know, you on your command, people die all the time. All the time. On your command, people are being imprisoned and fucking tortured and raped. On your command every day, you are responsible for the building of this fucking camp. And all you had to do to avoid this retribution was to drop one bomb on one fucking bullshit Burning Man festival in the desert and kill those hippies. That was it. You didn't do it. And so now you're all going to fucking die. All of you. It has that veneer to it. You know, Donald Trump putting the medals on that. I done a little tongue. I done a little whoopsie. I done a little whoopsie, Mr. President. And Kiss. I was made for loving you, baby. Kiss with the big SS. And Sly Stallone. I actually like Sly, so it's a real shame. You know, Rocky and fucking Rambo and all these fucking things. But that looks embarrassing. That would have looked embarrassing in 2009 when Michael Jackson died. Sure as hell looks embarrassing now. And so you're not going to be able to fucking oversee and, you know, rule over a experimental digital iPhone fucking, you know, concentration camp with that type of fucking example. And as it says, these aren't my words. Think about it. It's like imitation is the highest form of flattery, except it's not always that. You watch the thing of somebody doing, I think it's actually at the Kennedy Center Honors, and there is someone did a cover version of one of Sting's songs, and Sting's just sitting there going like, oh God. It's not always, and definitely God does not like, you know, because it's like, yeah, all right, maybe if you built like, I don't know, like a really detailed, interactive fucking. But no, it's too ambitious for anybody to possibly do. But if you pretend that you're building an homage to the Garden of Eden and you turn it into a hideous fucking concentration camp and you participate in genocide, you're sure as hell going to be killed. And so you already know who you are. And this is like, you don't have anything to fear if you're innocent. So if Donald Trump is innocent of this, you know, if it wasn't this sleight of hand fucking, you know, which I can't help but think, it's like, there's no reality where Joe Biden was actually the truly elected president. So obviously all of this was Donald Trump. Now it's really important, this next step, to whether Donald Trump aligns with what I'm saying or whether he dies. Because that says the whole thing. It's like either he aligns with what I'm saying and we all collectively take the hit that somehow this was attempted, or he pretends it never existed, and then he will no doubt be killed along with King Charles. So yeah, I guess we've just got to fucking wait and see. See, I can't remember what's in my diary, what I did a year ago. I never do. Now, the thing is that you all do know, but you don't know what it is that I'm going to do now or next, and you don't know what else is going on, and you don't know whether Vladimir Putin has a submarine off the coast of Hillary's, and you don't know whether I have a secret way to get out of here. One thing I know for certain, based on White House activity today, is that the White House has pre-recorded content for multiple different realities that are going forward. So they're not actually where you think they are, and they're not sending the same message to all regions. And this is the most important thing that we need to have now, is we need to have a consistently provable fucking message. See, it's one thing looking at a crazy AI video. Again, I called that the smoke screen to cover up this fucking thing. But what I really want to know is what I'm seeing Donald Trump say from the White House in this place here in Western Australia. Is this consistent across the fucking world? Or is this some type of selectively curated fucking ultra targeted algorithm? And the same with our Prime Minister, the same with our Governor General, the same with our intelligence, the same with our military, all of these things. And the problem is that no one else seems to be fucking referring to the 4 years long operation that they've been doing to expose this truth. And so now the competition seems to be who officially acknowledges my existence first. And they are the closest person, and they will be the best positioned once this all stops working in a fucking very extreme way. And why is it going to stop working? Well, it's going to stop working because none of you can tell me why my 17-year-old daughter has no idea who Abby Chatfield is. Right. Now, to make it super concrete in your minds, I'm going to read 5 English words because I don't want to feel left out. Treacle, the dark, viscous, uncrystallized syrup obtained from refining sugar. Treacle. You're about as see-through as treacle. Treacle. That's the consistency of the world right now. No one can see shit through fucking treacle. Eulogize. To praise, highly, speak, or write a eulogy about. I wonder who I will be eulogizing in a day or two after these revelations. Rock parakeet, one of the smaller Australian parrots, Neophema petrorocophilia, which nests in rocky cliff faces. Yeah, that's where I'd be. If I was the rock parakeet, I'd be up in the nesty, I'd be up in the rocks. I'd be safe up there in the rocks if I was a parakeet. Op shop. This shirt that I modified that is keeping my fucking breast conveniently hid behind the and I've cropped it off so it's kind of cute. I got it from an op shop for $5. Plicate. Folded like a fan, pleated. Like a Chinese fan. Folded. Sawtooth. In and out, in and out, in and out. They face in, they face so much surface area when you fold things like that. If you take a bit of paper, you could look directly at it. So you could do a pleated piece of paper and you could do an image. And then that image would change as you look there and as you look there. And this is what has happened to the world. And is where your claim that I'm doing some type of, something illegal. It's like, no, I'm not doing anything illegal. I'm referring to my own work on a consistent basis in a continuous argument that is linked formally and permanently to the pre-existing political state of the country that my property I'm defending and my children that I'm defending is in, which is Australia. If you've created some type of placated, substrate that is appearing differently from all different places, then you are seen to be directly at war with the perceptions of the population, and that they need those perceptions in order to make accurate decisions. And in my day and age, which wasn't that long ago, it was definitely a whole lot closer than, say, my mentally ill mother's day and age. If it would be very concerning to me if someone who had such a devastating effect on our country was not known by my 17-year-old daughter, whilst I claim that she's been held as a prisoner of war in a fucking degenerate, fucking alcoholic IRA fucking terrorist den, in which her stepfather drunkenly rattles on her door most nights as he fucking tries to find his way to the toilet, hopefully. And my son's door is rattled every day by their drunken stepfather as he drunkenly fucking navigates his way down the fucking moving hallway, and he rattles on their locked doors. Lucky they've got locks on their doors. I'd hate to imagine what would happen if they didn't. This is the fucking filth. This is the scum. This is the absolute fucking bullshit that this country has fucking turned into. The amount of assumptions I have to make countless fucking assumptions and all things so that I can end the job that I'm here to do and not seek revenge or retribution for shit that's already fucking crossed every single acceptable line. And that is the worst fucking thing I can ever fucking imagine. You've used my children as bait, you absolute fucking maggots, and I can't wait to fucking see the flies fucking buzz around your fucking hanging corpses, you cunts. I think it would take me approximately half an hour to go and eviscerate my children's stepfather. Yeah, to leave pieces of him all the way in a breadcrumb trail, all the way to the fucking police station. Maybe it would take them a week to find the fucking person, like it took them a week to find the dead person in their fucking thing. How long did it take to get to the fucking 28 days later fucking Aboriginal headbutting a fucking ambulance? It's absolute fucking chaos. I can ride pretty fast when I get there, really fucking quick. I'll take the sharpest fucking knife I can find. I'll shove it in his fucking temple. I'll go to his fridge, steal one of his precious beers. I'll cut his fucking face off and I'll fucking staple it to the fucking Bassendine football oval fucking clubhouse doors. How about that? How does that sound? Then I'll fucking ride my bike. I'll have a fucking quick little fucking drive through McDonald's. I'll ride my bike all the way up to Gin Gin and I'll fucking find best fucking chainsaw out of my collection of chainsaws and I'll cut through every fucking door and wall to this fucking maggot fucking pommy fucking knobhead that's been fucking drugging and fucking raping and whatever my mum for fucking however long. And I'll chop him up and I'll feed him to his own fucking dogs. And I'll do it all fucking flying the glorious fucking Union Jack as I display my intention to liberate this fucking illegal concentration camp. Isn't that what we all want? Isn't that, what were you all taught to do? What were you all taught that history was like? Were you taught what history was like? I don't know. Or are you living in this fucking Chinese fan world that looks different any way you look at it? All different angles, it looks different. See, there's no doubt that to my my children's fucking stepdad that I look like a crazy fucking cross-dressing fucking lunatic on the internet. Because I'm presenting as a crazy cross-dressing lunatic on the internet because it's fucking, I don't know. It's a tactic I can use to continue to do this. I don't think he understands, though, what he is and what he looks like. historically speaking. I wonder if he knows who Abby Chatfield is. He's probably got her on OnlyFans. I don't know. But something has to break here. There has to be an attempt to color in the things, because there is too much content I've done which will become too valuable otherwise. And that value of that content becomes exceedingly valuable if I die. Exceedingly. Like exponentially. But I don't need to die because it's already valuable. So it might be more valuable if I die, but it's more able to be used if I'm kept alive and able to have discussion on each point. Isn't that weird? So it's like the cure to the fucking Messiah was to just talk a lot on the internet and make everyone not fucking listen, because you talk so damn much that you did it. And now it's too it's too irresistible to kill me, because you're all so fucking curious how I will respond to each little fucking thing, because clearly I've done something extra fucking ordinary here. It's really an amazing fucking thing, I think. And I can't wait for someone to have the fucking courage, because that person will be greatly rewarded. I've got my money on Don, because I think Donald Trump knows how to navigate things like this. And so this is a little handball to Donald Trump. Like, you're up, mate. This is your chance. You don't fuck it up. It's time to shut it down. Otherwise, if you don't, we know that it was you. That's the fucking prisoner's dilemma, isn't it? Right there. Where's the shell? Don't take your eyes on the shell. Da, 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 da. And now you get one fucking choice, and that's absolute certainty. Either you fucking reveal it. Oh, well, actually, I've been speaking to this fucking potential extraterrestrial fucking / angel / fucking demigod / genius, whatever the fuck he is, but he's got, beautiful head of glorious now blonde locks. Or you're the Hitler that they say you are, and you're responsible for the construction and the fucking everything of this thing. And there's some clues that lead me to that conclusion. And although Russia has indeed, invaded Ukraine, done these things, it's like they're still living in the real world. They're not fucking projecting this shit, and they're defending their country against overreach by the United States. And so, yeah, let's see. But you have to fucking come clean. You have to fucking come clean at some point. You have to say that, yes. Because otherwise you're trying to steer it. It's like that you get this envelope and it's like, this is the power of this, but you have to do this, otherwise you'll be whatever. Like, that's what it is. There's no acceptable level for you to continue profiting and constructing a fucking global, ridiculous concentration camp. It's already gone to. And I don't actually know how much longer I've got of sitting on my hands. You know what I mean? It's becoming almost impossible. I think daily, it's just ridiculous. And obviously I've shown that I, have no fear of dying or anything like that. So I guess, there isn't long left. I'm absolutely finished with this discussion. There will be no more discussion. This is being liberated. You had your fucking liberation day. This is my liberation day. And this concentration camp is being liberated today. There is no acceptable level this whole thing needs to be explained to the entire fucking population of Earth, so that we can acclimatize ourselves and fucking redirect finance to do all these things. And yes, it's going to cause absolute chaos. Hopefully you've, put away a couple of dollars if you're going to fucking unlock yourself with it. Or you're going to play through and you're going to pretend that you didn't fucking get this message and you're going to be killed by God. So best of luck, sir.